ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the grand final of Robot Wars Battle of the YouTubers. Over the past 2 months, our Roboteers have been fighting with their machines to see which one will be representing them in our glorious grand finals, to see who is the ultimate YouTuber. And we finally whittled it down to just 8 machines. Each machine geared with unique weaponry, unique designs, and a hell of a way to destroy and dismantle each other. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. This is the big one, the grand finals. And it is time to see how it all lines up. A lineup of absolute chaos is what we are about to see. Mostly spinners. I think there's like 5 spinners. Good grief. Anyway, the lineup is with Uncle Sam and the Snail Boy up against Robonite TV with Iron Ore, PIKAAAA Karen and Complete Control up against the flipping arm of FIRESTORM for Manny in the house. The two girls we having like a little cat fight with the forms of PIKAAAA, Destroy, and Peach, otherwise known as Shanika and Vigment. But first up, it's me against AK9K in the form of High AF and Supernova. Two very deadly blades, about to clash it out. It is time for the ultimate finale to begin. High AF Spinner. They were extremely destructive in their heat, knocking off the wheel of Bucky the Rebooted before they drove down the pit. They then demolished the wheels of Sentinel and seriously compromised their drive. But the fight against Mortis was something else altogether. They ripped the weapons off and then completely ripped the machine off from its bottom plate, killing it and leaving it completely on fire. Nothing left, and I don't think we've encountered any heat final as chaotic as that. The spinning blade has seriously destroyed the competition, and definitely looks like it'll continue to do it. A very strong contender, but now they have to contend with other spinners which might take out their own wheels and leave them dead in the water. Supernova Spinner! They had a bit of a struggle in their fight against the alien before managing to take off one of their wheels and leave them dead against the sidewall. Couldn't really do much damage through the void as it was too low for their flywheel, but did manage to push them down the pit. And the rematch against Behemoth seemed like it could have gone the same way as before, until they ripped off the bottom part of the scoop, and then Behemoth ended up driving themselves down to the pit. Its flywheel has caused serious damage to the opposition, even if it did take a while for it to become actually a problem. But it does eventually pay off, and it might do the same thing for them as they fight to become king of the YouTubers.
Roboteers, stand by.
The first fight of our grand finals, two very dangerous spinners, High AF with the adjustable spinner that can go up and down, and Supernova with the deadly flywheel and the invertible body shell. This should be a very fun, destructive fight.
3, 2, 1.
And immediately, Supernova coming off faster than High AF, but High AF causing problems for Supernova. Look at the drive! And now Supernova gone out the arena! Well, that's the end of them! And that was over in a drive! Look at that! Watch this again! One struck it! They've ripped the wheel off too! As they go flying out the arena! The momentum from their own blade plus the attack from High AF sends Supernova over and out! High AF going through to the next round in their quickest victory so far in this competition. Terribly sorry, AK, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles, unfortunately, here on Robot Wars. Sorry, you're out. Next up, PIKAAAA, Destroy, and Peach. PIKAAAA, Destroy. Spinner. Didn't really have a fight with tripling Kabutops. They burnt out right from the start and just died. Didn't stop them from taking off a wheel, though. Did more damage in their fight against Shinx, however. No more wheels, no more weapon, no more face, and just left to burn. And Clink M, who seemed to me like the only real threat to their run, had their gear teeth ripped off. and then had the entire weapons ripped off, and then they were thrown down the pit and out. The Thunderbolt bar has proved to be quite dangerous and looks like it can't be stopped. Nothing has been able to so far, but in the grand finals, all that might change, as only the best of the best have made it here. Peach Spinner. Rat Attack didn't stand much of a chance really. They lost their drive and then lost their ears before ending up down the pit of oblivion. And the same thing happened with Mighty Mouse, as their wheel was removed early in the fight, and then everything got removed. Cat King, I think, was lucky to have made it, and were probably wishing they hadn't, as they too got ripped apart and were just left in the corner to be counted out. They've proven to be very tough, quick, and deadly with the drive and spinning blade, as well as being able to easily get back into the action with their Shriek. But with all the spinners in the grand finals, will their wheels finally get destroyed?
Robot ears, stand by.
PIKAAAA Destroy, the cute, lovable electric-type Pokemon with the lethal Thunderbolt spinning blade, and Peach with the lifting wedge and the spinning blade resembling Rusty from Antway Anarchy.
2,
Actually, there's a high chance they might be related. Well, we won't know until it happens. Although, meanwhile, Peach, underneath PIKAAAA Destroy, but PIKAAAA Destroy ripping something off from Peach's wedge. You can see one of the pieces is missing. It's not really going to affect them. It's a bit of superficial damage. PIKAAAA Destroy now flung into the air. And this is, so far, a pretty good battle. Two very different type of blades, actually. One's a vertical, one's a horizontal, and one is also on fire! And I think there's a problem with PIKAAAA Destroy. I think the electronics that control the drive have gone. The blade still seems to be working, but I don't think anything else is. And I think that's the end for PIKAAAA Destroy. Well, now we know what it takes to defeat that thing. Just throw Peach at it. That's the end. PIKAAAA Destroy left in the wall on fire. Well, Peach throws something of theirs off and spins in delight at the victory. Well done to Peach. And I think that front wedge of theirs definitely helped them in this fight. Because without that, I think it possibly could have gone the other way. Well done, Peach. Commiserations to PIKAAAA Destroy and Shanika. They put up a good fight, but sadly it wasn't enough. Peach go through. Next up, Complete Control and Firestorm. Complete Control. Control Bot. They didn't really seem to struggle much against Solar Flare. Grabbed them and dropped them down the pit, and that was the end of them. And they didn't really have any trouble against Mantis, especially after flipping them up and over. Raptor, however, seemed to be the only real issue they faced, as they ripped off an entire side panel that blasted themselves out of the arena, allowing Complete Control to make the finals. The weapon has definitely been their saving grace in this competition, probably the most successful control bot in this competition, but as the competition gets tougher, they'll have to fight harder and avoid any serious damage and being flipped over. Firestorm! Flipper! Didn't really have a giant issue against Freeze Blast, got underneath them and flipped them over and onto their weapon, which prevented them from self-righting. Couldn't quite pull the same thing off with Bitey, kept coming back down onto its wheels, but they did manage to push them down the pit. And then the surprise package of the heat, Manhole Maurice, who beat Hypnodisc and Razor. People thought Firestorm would fall as well, but Firestorm managed to get underneath him and fire their lifting arm, and that was pretty much the end of them. The low wedge at the front has a 0-degree ground clearance. It will get underneath anything and use the arm to throw them up and over. Great control as well. The only thing going against them is the slow speed of the arm, but its effectiveness definitely makes up for that.
Robot ears, stand by.
Complete Control with the lifting forks and the clamp. And Firestorm with the rear steer to spike and the lifting arm. And this is actually a rematch because they fought before in the original battle of the YouTubers against Taylor and Einars. Firestorm were on top in that fight. This is where that first fight ended. They both became immobilized. A rematch was called, and once again, Firestorm more dominant, more on top, more in control, and even so, after throwing them up and over, Complete Control couldn't right themselves, giving Firestorm the chance to throw them down the pit of oblivion. And that was how their fight officially ended. So this is not just a rematch, it's a grudge match. This should be a very interesting fight. And it'll be great to see who is more stronger. Well, look at this time round. Complete Control getting an attack on Firestorm, and Firestorm have to self-right. So, Complete Control learning lessons, valuable lessons from before, are actually attacking Firestorm, seeming to struggle to get underneath Complete Control. That's not very good, but Firestorm able to get around the side and throw down Complete Control and drive into the pit themselves. Well, they put on a better fight than they did against Firestorm before, but once again, Firestorm reigns victorious. Complete Control in the pit. Even if Firestorm did follow. But, what a shame for Complete Control. And they definitely did a lot better here than they did before, but unfortunately, it's Firestorm who goes through. Next up, Uncle Sam and Iron Ore. Uncle Sam! Spinner! They had a bit of struggle against Constrictor at first, before they eventually burnt out and just came to a halt as they kept coming at them with the spinning blade. Similar situation with Velocity, who bullied them with the flipper before accidentally reversing into the pit. Definitely were more controlling against Beholder, did damage, come around the back of them, and pushed them down the pit, and even fell down themselves. For me, I think Uncle Sam are very lucky to have made it this far. The blade is fairly decent, and that'll definitely go their way in terms of damage, but I just feel like the ground clearance and lack of a Shri mech might prove to be this machine's sad end in this competition. Iron Ore! Flipper Axe Bot! Had no real issue against Frenzy, the flipper causing serious damage, and the axe wasn't helping matters, and Frenzy were counted out as Iron Ore threw themselves down the pit. Didn't have any problems against Hurricane either, rammed them against the wall and then threw them out of the arena. And then a combination of the two against Marauder, flipped them till they caught fire and died, and then tossed them over and out. They haven't really been too bothered with the competition so far, almost like they were just fodder. A real surprise to me, as in Robot Wars, they've never had any real success. Definitely never made a grand final.
Roboteers, stand by.
Uncle Sam, with the spinning blade, and pretty lucky to have made it this far, in my personal opinion. Unluckily, however, they're up against Iron Ore with the CO2-powered flipper and axe combination, who didn't even struggle in their heat.
2, 1.
So if Uncle Sam, well, I don't think Uncle Sam will be able to beat them, not at that low speed, and not from that one flip, and there's already sparks from Uncle Sam, and they're in the wall stuck against the spike. And I'm wondering, actually, if that flip's done something, because they're not able to reverse, and there seems to be a lack of speed. Flipped again and again, back onto the wheels. I'm wondering if they're stuck in forward. No, they were just reversed there. So, maybe something, one of the motors is gone. Down comes the axe through the armor of Uncle Sam. I'll admit this, Uncle Sam, they've not burst into flames. Marauder and Frenzy did. So, Uncle Sam gets credit for being able to withstand that. They can take the flips too. Down comes the axe again. Ooh, through the flag, the American flag. Oh, Uncle Sam will not be happy. So I don't think Uncle Sam can really do anything. So flipped again. And I feel like this is Iron Ore toying with Uncle Sam now. Oh, good lots of sparks flying throughout this fight. And lots of Uncle Sam flying through this fight as well. Poor Uncle Sam. Oh! What just happened there to Iron Ore? They just went flying for some reason. Self-righted, but what just happened? Here it is again. Their axe goes into the wheel, and then I think they fired their flipper, and that's what caused them to fling away. I honestly have no clue. But now you could just see that there's smoke. There's smoke coming from Uncle Sam, meaning now they are truly gone. The drive. There's nothing left of Uncle Sam. No real movement. And Iron Ore about to throw Uncle Sam out the arena. Okay, maybe not there. Now they are over and out, and that's the end of them. This was the finishing flip. Not there and yet, and then the second flip. Over and out, and it's Uncle Sam who goes home, and Iron Ore definitely has to earn this victory this time around. And I'm wondering if that's a telling tale going forward, who knows, but as Iron Ore goes through, so this is how round 2 lines up. Iron Ore will be taking on Peach later on, but first, it's High AF and Firestorm.
Robot ears, stand by.
IAF with the spinning blade, which made light work of Supernova, and Firestorm with the lifting arm and the CO2 spike, which, despite the struggle against complete control, still managed to put them down the pit.
3, 2, 1.
And Firestorm, don't forget, faced a devastating spinner before in the form of Mechavore. And the blade's gone again, the lifting arm's gone. And there's an armor panel missing as well. So it's already going the same way as the fight with Mechavore, losing armor pieces. Although, I don't think they lost the type of armor they are now. Look at this. They're being ripped apart, and they've lost the wheel. You can see the wheels lying there from this one attack there. There's the wheel lying on the ground, and that's seriously going to affect Firestorm's drive. You can see it there. And now, their other wheel's gone. Nothing left. Firestorm being ripped apart here, Firestorm. Oh dear. That's the end of Firestorm. He's called. Look at this. The final attack. I've given the bottom panel as well. That's brilliant. And slingshot into the pit. Goodbye, Firestorm. They're into the death, or the loser's melee, I should say. The third place playoff. High AF into the grand finals. And that's a lot of repair work on Firestorm. Let's be real here. High AF through to the grand finals. Next up, Peach and Iron Ore.
Robot ears, stand by.
Peach with the spinning blade and the lifting wedge to help himself right as well. And Iron Ore with the CO2 powered flipper and the axe combination.
3, 2, 1.
Still a little bit surprised they struggled really taking out Uncle Sam in their last fight. Seemed to be making up for it against Peach, but again, they're not really able to deliver the same killer blow they did in their opening heat. And now Peach coming around the side, and off comes the wheel! They've lost the tire! The wheel's gone now! So they've lost drive, look at this! A great shot there from Peach as the wheel comes out. And that is, well, that's it. Really, the drive for Iron Ore now really in trouble as they're stuck in the wall. And Peach coming in. Well, is there anything left to do, I wonder? Well, let's try. And now Iron Ore, because of that, they are now immobilized! And they've lost arm! Well, that's some major damage done to Iron Ore. Some major damage. There goes the floor flip. Why are you going up? I think the floor flip is just bored. But Peach getting caught on the Spike's iron ore stuck as well, and now Peach to push iron ore towards the pit, but going up the front, which is not intelligent. And Peach now coming back in on iron ore. Poor iron ore, they had such a great run in their heat. Had no trouble. They showed their dominance against Uncle Sam, but now iron ore in trouble. There's no real control. The mobility is lacking, and Peach very much on top. And iron ore slams into the wall as Peach closes the pit. I mean, not the pit, the flipper. And iron ore once again colliding into the wall. And can Peach now get iron ore out the arena? They tried doing that before in their heat to Mighty Mouse and Cat King. I don't think they'll be able to, just like they couldn't before. And iron ore well and truly immobilized and out. And Peach, well done. They progress through to the grand finals to fight a high AF. An impressive victory for Peach. Poor iron ore. But this is how it all lines up. The grand final, high AF and Peach. But first, third place playoff between Firestorm and iron ore.
Roboteers, stand by.
Firestorm with the rear CO2 spike and the front lifting arm. And iron ore with the CO2 power flipper and axe combination. Both had to do serious repairs in the pits. Firestorm, the most repairs. They were ripped apart against high AF. So I'm wondering if they are ready for this third place playoff.
3, 2, 1.
Iron ore didn't have much to do, and you can tell most of their bot was intact, apart from a wheel and armor, so we could see them throwing! Oh, and Firestorm were this close to going out the arena, but look at this, they're stuck on the axe! And that axe of iron ore, who knows what type of damage it's doing? And that's gonna do some damage! Firestorm on fire! And that is the end of Firestorm's drive! There's the flip from iron ore, there's the axe, and again, and out they go! That's the end of Firestorm out the arena. Iron ore gets third place in this competition. And I was wondering if Firestorm had fully repaired themselves. They probably had, but we didn't get to see that. Iron ore completely demolished them. Well done, Iron ore. Not giving them a chance. They win third place. Well done to Iron ore for winning third place. Commiserations to Firestorm. Next up is the final showdown between High AF and Peach. But before then, we have a few special little nomination trophies that we wish to give out to some machines that made the series very unique. First up is the most original entry, which goes to Manhole Maurice for its articulate design, which not only managed to help conk out Hypnodisc, which shocked everyone, but even managed to knock out Razor. It can definitely take the hits. It took the hits from Hypnodisc, and it also took the attacks from Razor. It withstood the attacks. It could definitely hold its own. Its articulate design is not something we see a lot in Robot Wars, and its design even managed to help save it from slams like that. The Best Design Award goes to Shuckoff. A very, very interesting take on a walker, or in this case a shufflebot. Definitely hard to control, definitely hard to attack, as Shinx found out. Not much I can really say is there about Shuckoff, other than it's very, very unique. It definitely deserves the Best Design Award. Let's be real here. The Best Engineer Machine goes to Raptor This is the only real bit of damage Raptor ever took. Off comes the wheel. That was the only bit of damage they ever took. But the full body spinner dealt serious damage to everyone else that came near it. Didn't even mention to pick itself off like a spinning top. Very entertaining, very amusing. Definitely deserving of this. The Sportsmanship Award goes to Uncle Sam. Mainly because of how absolutely sporting the machine has been. And just how very entertaining they've been. That's the only reason the game here is just to entertain. And they've definitely done that with some superb victories. And as I said before, Uncle Sam lucky to have made the grand finals, but they definitely deserve this award. And finally, the Skull and Crossbones Award, which has actually been tied. The first winner for this is Mudboy. They put up a good fight at the start against Dietor, but this was where they stopped and broke down, unfortunately, and that's what helped Dietor steal the victory, which was a real shame because Mudboy definitely seemed very impressive. Unfortunately, their drive let them down. And the other nominee, Snowdozer, for bashing Hurricane. Unfortunately, they were on top pretty much the whole fight. Well, but then they sadly broke down as well. Electronical errors and issues saw Snowdozer crash out, which helped Hurricane progress through. Well done to our nominee winners, but now it's time for the grand final between High AF and Peach. This is the final showdown.
Robot ears, stand by.
This is it, the grand finals. High AF with the spinning adjustable bar, and Peach with their little spinning blade and low front lifting wedge to help self-right. This, the ultimate title of YouTuber.
3, 2, 1.
Who will be crowned the ultimate YouTuber? Well, we're about to see High AF gets the first attack in, and Peach taking serious damage and flung up and over. Now, can Peach right themselves? Yes, they can. Into the blade of High AF, and High AF, that's the first proper attack dealt to High AF, and now High AF in a spot of bother. This is the first real time High AF's encountered a worry, although Peach, I think, lost one of their wheels. Has High AF lost any? No, they've still got all theirs. While Peach's wheels are being ripped apart. You can see there's parts of the wheel both flung away. And Peach, I think, more stunned and discombobulated. High AF still able to move, but there is a problem with the drive on Peach. They're against the wall. They can't really move. I think some of the wheels are ripped off. They've only got one wheel left, and they're smoking too. And Peach, they've done brilliantly to get this far. Fought many tough challenges. And now High AF, oh, what are you doing? You had it in the bag, High AF, and you've thrown it all away. What were you doing? Look at this, under no pressure. I think they just missed the pit, collided with it, and they're out. And Peach somehow wins this competition. And it's the Figment who takes home the trophy of Ultimate YouTuber. Well done, Figment. Well done, Peach. What a fantastic, surprising victory and a well deserved one as well. Congratulations to the Figment and Peach for winning this competition. I probably would have if I hadn't screwed up with the pit, but that's how things go on Robot Wars. That was idiocy on my part. But rules are rules. Figment is the winner of this. Thank you to everyone who competed, and thank you to everyone who watched this series. I genuinely hope you enjoyed it. The main series will be beginning over on Spike Prime, my second channel. Well, we don't like losers, and we don't like draws, but we found a winner on Robot Wars. Bye-bye.